Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing possible stricter labor law enforcement as well as immigration law enforcement here in Thailand. I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Bangkok Post. That's bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, quote, "Gangs of foreigners," unquote, "accused of stealing jobs from locals in Phuket." Now, I urge those who are watching this video, read that article in detail. There's a lot of insight in many different facets of this whole thing. I'm going to quote a small excerpt here, but there's more going on in there. So I urge folks who are watching this, go read that article at length. Quoting directly, "The hospitality sector in Phuket is urging the government to solve the issue of foreign mafia on the resort island. It is concerned the group is now exploiting laws to run their own businesses while also taking up the jobs traditionally reserved for locals." Quoting further, "Tourism and Sports Minister Pipat Ratchakiprakan should deal with these concerns." Quoting further, Mr. Pipat said authorities will look into the matter. Quote, "I'm certain most Thais will not tolerate it if foreigners are trying to steal their jobs. Authorities from various agencies will look into the matter as the Prime Minister has also ordered the Royal Thai Police to crack down on it," said Mr. Pipat. So when you see this stuff in the press, and I'm not, I've had my own criticisms, if you will, of the press, especially during the emergency decree and dealing with all the COVID and everything. I believe me, I've got my critique with the press in certain ways. I'm not saying they're all bad. I just have my issues sometimes. These immigration things, when you see this kind of percolate up to this level where you're seeing a ministerial or a minister in the Thai government who's commenting on this, and then this is also being quoted basically in the English language paper of record for Bangkok here. This is something to keep in the back of your mind as a foreigner here in Thailand. Again, we've talked about it this past quarter, or what's transpired within this first quarter of 2023, that again, and I said this when we saw the emergency decree end last year, which is, look, the discretion on the part of Thai immigration or even labor officers here in Thailand has been pulled away with respect to being able to kind of be a softer touch on issues like, well, do you meet the requirements for an extension? Under the emergency decree, they had more discretion because the concern was, hey, it's hard to travel. There's an exigent need for that discretion. That's not there now. We're back to status quo ante. We're back to where we were first quarter in 2020. And Thai immigration, in many ways, is arguably back there. You could also make strong arguments that, in fact, they've now had all this extra time to sort of think about policy. While they haven't had the plethora of foreigners here that they usually have, they've had time to think about enforcement. I suspect they've been training. And all of these things kind of lead to a confluence of events where you're going to see stricter enforcement of immigration law and labor law here in Thailand. Couple this with the fact we've seen more movement from characters like Big Joke here in Thailand, who clearly have their own sense of how immigration should operate and how law enforcement regarding immigration should operate. All of this is kind of coming together in a situation where, yeah, I can definitely see a situation where we're going to see increased scrutiny of applications for work authorization or work authorization extension, applications for things like business visa or business visa extension. These are all going to become, or I should say maybe they already have, we're probably going to see this being a much less lax regime than what we saw during the sort of interruption that was COVID. I just don't see it staying that way going forward. If anything, I see things getting tougher in the realm of business immigration and work authorization here in the Kingdom of Thailand.